I am Jenny and welcome to FREEJOO, the global community of educators. Let me show you why as an educator you should make FREEJOO an important part of your teaching and learning practice. A community of teaching practice is important for any educator. On FREEJOO you will be able to access CollabEd, which is like LinkedIn but for educators. Here you will be able to connect and network with other educators from all around the world. You can build your own community of teaching practice and/or join one of the many other existing groups and learn and share ideas, lesson plans, etc. with each other. Then, for a more formalized approach to professional development, which is like Netflix for educators. Here, you will be able to access a wide range of courses designed by global experts that will help you to learn about new pedagogical, technical, and soft skills, all related to 21st century education and the future of work. There are more than 20 courses available for free, and for more advanced level courses, you can upgrade to the Silver membership plan for just $20 per year and get access to all courses designed by Akadasia. The courses are available in English and in several other Asian languages. And what's more, you will receive a free verifiable and tamper-proof digital certificate for each course that you complete. If you have upgraded your membership to the Silver, Gold, or Platinum plans, you also get access to DesignEd, which is like Canva for educators. Here you will find the easiest and fastest way to practice your own instructional design skills and build your own courses. We have pre-integrated several third-party edtech apps like Flipgrid, Canva, Mentimeter, Padlet, H5P, Zoom, etc. right into FREEJOO so you can make your courses engaging and fun for your own learners. As you can see, there is a lot you can do on FREEJOO as an educator. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.freejoo.com and get your very own free lifetime membership today. See you soon on FREEJOO.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back once again to a Workshop Wednesday. Today, I will be hosting the event myself, and we'll be talking about a practical approach to using Gagne's 9 events of instruction. If you all remember, about 2 weeks ago, I ran a workshop on understanding Gagne's 9 events of instruction, which was more about theory. And today, I am going to be talking about how do you use that theory and put it into a much more practical sense to design your own lesson. All right. So before I get started, I hope that everybody is sitting back, relaxed. Maybe you have a coffee or a drink with you. And most importantly, that everybody is safe. Let me also remind you that we do have 2 kinds of events that we run every Wednesday. One is a webinar Wednesday, which we had last week. So last week we actually ran this event called Importance of Better Interpersonal Skills, which was a very interesting discussion on how teachers can actually build that skill for themselves and also teach it to their students. If you haven't watched that, please do look at our YouTube channel or go to freeju.com and create a free account and actually complete the course, and you'll also get a certificate. And it's all free for Webinar Wednesdays. Today, however, we are doing a workshop. So today is a Workshop Wednesday. So as I mentioned earlier, on the 12th of Jan, I actually ran a workshop on understanding Gagne's 9 events of instruction. And today, we are going to be doing a practical approach to using Gagne's 9 events of instruction, where I will show you in real time how I create a course and how I upload a course for better engagement with my students. As regards to certificates, I know a lot of people will want certificates for this. Please be reminded that the certificate for this event is on FREEJOO. You will have to log into FREEJOO, and you will have to upgrade your account to either a gold, silver, or a platinum membership to get access to the course and then get your certificate along with it. Okay, so now since we have completed our information session with regards to what sessions we've completed and what sessions are, we will be doing in the future. Let's get into the lesson proper. So before that, let me remind all of you once again what Gagne's 9 events of instruction are. We have covered this in our previous workshop, and I had mentioned that Gagne's 9 events of instruction basically have to be followed to a T, okay, sequentially. So level 1 is gaining attention, okay. Level 2 is identifying an objective. Level 3 is recalling prior learning. Level 4 is presenting the stimulus. Level 5 is guided learning. Level 6 is eliciting performance. Level 7 is providing feedback. Level 8 is assessing performance. And level 9 is helping learners enhance the retention of the learning objectives and transferring that to somebody else. Okay, so there are 9 different steps that an instructional designer or a teacher needs to make sure that the course has as part of the lesson, right? So enough of theory. Now let's get to practical. How do you actually take these 9 steps and apply it to an actual real course? So to do that, what I have done is I have actually created a course on science. Okay, and the course is called Home Sweet Home, and it's about it's a course for middle school students, and the objective is to teach them about the solar system and also to get a general appreciation of the planet Earth and why Earth is important, for humanity. So typically, from what I have seen, and please do correct me if I'm wrong. You can type into the comments if I'm wrong. Typically, if you want to teach about solar system, you will have PowerPoint presentations where you will talk about planets, and perhaps you might want the students to watch some videos from YouTube as well. And then you might actually have an assessment or two, and you might even have a group project for the students. So again, if I'm wrong, please do type in the chat and let me know how would you run your own science class teaching about solar system, right? But this is how I have done it. This is my approach, and I am not even a science teacher, but I just wanted to show you a different approach using Gagne's 9 events to create a course on the solar system. So first and foremost, let me share with you the actual lesson plan that I've created. Okay, so this is our template. So this is a lesson plan that I created. Subject is science. The lesson title is Home Sweet Home. The lesson synopsis. This lesson is designed to help learners understand Earth and its place within the solar system and gain an appreciation of the home planet. That's the synopsis. It's a 12-week lesson. And the goal is, through a series of activities and interactive teaching, students will learn about orbits of all the planets in the solar system around the sun and of their moons around them, together with the rotation of the planets about an axis. They will also learn about the fundamentals of gravity, planetary terrains and elements, planetary distances, and velocity and space travel. And these are the tools that I'm going to be using. So I've specified it in my lesson plan that I want to use Freeju, Flipgrid, Canva. And again, this is just an example. You could use any different tools to make your course even better, right? So this is the first part. Then I break the entire lesson down into week by week. And here we are, week number 1, week number 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And here you can see stage of instruction. So I've actually used Gagne's 9 events of instruction every single week. So as you can see, in week 1, I'm using level 1 of Gagne's 9 events, gaining attention. Okay, and the topic of the week is our home. And these are my learning objectives, my learning activities, tools needed, and how I'm going to assess the students. Similarly, for week 2, my Gagne's 9 events of instruction is level 2, identifying objective, recalling prior learning, presenting stimulus, and so on and so forth. So I hope you get the idea. Okay. And please feel free to comment in the text box if you have any questions, or if you think that this is interesting or whatever. So I hope this provides you with a clear understanding of how I have designed my lesson plan based on Gagne's 9 events of instruction. But of course, this is not the only thing. I still need to create content. So what I have done is, once I have designed this lesson plan, I then set about to create the content. Okay. So how did I do that? So let me show that to you. So here, let me just remove this and I'll share my screen. So what I did was I actually created content here. So everything that I need for my lesson, I have actually put it on a notepad. So as you can see, this is my course card image. I have my course intro video. I have my lesson synopsis, my learning objectives, my lesson duration, topic of the video, topic 1 of the video, so on and so forth. So everything is here. Okay, everything is here. My entire lesson is here. And I did this before I even look at any learning management platform. And the reason why I do that is because technology is not important. What is important is your instructional design. How are you going to convey the lesson objectives to your students? Okay, so let's go back to this, and I'll show you step by step how we start building the course. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this section here. So as you can see, my first thing is a course card image, and I have an introduction video, and I have a lesson synopsis, objectives. This is the first thing that I want to upload into my system. So now I go back to my course. Okay, I go back to my course, which is here. So in Freeju, I am now in Design Ed. Okay, I am in Design Ed. Actually, I don't think you can see it. Can you all see it, Zar? No, right? Okay, let me share my screen again. Yeah, there you go. So on Freeju, I am now on Design Ed. Okay, so I basically type in my course title, Home Sweet Home. I will copy my synopsis, learning objectives, and all of that cool stuff from the draft that I had shown you earlier to here in my course description. I can just paste it here. Okay, and once I have pasted it here, I format it, and of course, once I save it, I should be able to see it. But how does it look on Freeju? I will show you that in a bit as well. And over here, I have selected my search criteria, so students can actually search for my course. And I want content dripping enabled. So what I'm doing is I want to make sure that the students do not skip topics, but they actually complete the course sequentially. So once you complete topic 1, only then you can see topic 2. So I can save that over here. Now over here, below is course thumbnail. So I want to put on a course thumbnail, and my course thumbnail is this image right here. Okay, it's this image right here. So how do I basically input that? Very simple. I can go to my assets folder, find that image. So in this case, it is the course card image, which is this one right here. And I can, it's too many screens. So I can then go to browse and select my file, which is right here in my assets window. There you go. And I open it, and my image is right here. I might also want to upload a video, an introduction video, which I've already created. And this is my video. So if I want to upload a video, I go back here, select my video, which is my intro video right here, and I upload that. Okay, as simple as that, because I've already pre-created all the assets. So of course, on the user front, you also want to see how the users will interact with it. So this is how the users will interact with it. So here you can see the course is already ready. So this is the course card image. This is what the image will look like. Now, when I click on the actual course, you will see how the video will play back as well. So here we are. This is the video. So if I play back, okay, very simple video, and I will show you how to create this video in the next workshop. So please do join us for that one at that point. But as you can see, in less than 5 minutes, I have uploaded my introduction to the course. Now, the unique thing about FREEJOO's Design Ed is that the entire course builder is on one single page. So you're not going away anywhere from this page. Whatever you need to do is right there in that course itself. So let's go to the next section. So now that I've put up my course info, I want to start building a course, and I want to now add a lesson. So here, I can go back to this section here. My next part here is lesson 1, our home, and that's the title of my lesson. And I've even got a video, I've got text, and again, I can just copy and paste all of that directly into the video. But before I do that, let's go back to the lesson plan so you understand where I'm coming from as far as the actual plan itself is concerned. So if I go back to my lesson plan, my level 1 is gaining attention. Okay, how do we gain attention of the student? So what I have done is I have actually started my lesson with a music video in a science lesson. Okay, think about it. Because here my learning objective is I want them to gain an appreciation of home first. And I want them to recognize the key components of planet Earth and then identify the elements that make planet Earth, and then list out the human needs for survival and how planet Earth will meet them. So my learning activities here: watch a music video, read about what is home, and then there is an activity, and then they read about Earth. So let's see how this translates into an actual lesson. So let me share my screen again. Okay. So here we are. So this is the actual lesson. But now if I go here to week 1, home, okay? So let's just wait for the system to open up to week 1. Okay, and here we are on. Okay. Oh, I know why. I need to enroll. So let's enroll into the course, and then we shall move forward. So let me just enroll into the course. So the course is already ready. So I'm going to show you how the course actually translates, okay, from the lesson plan to the actual course itself. So here we are. So this is the actual course. So if I was to get into week 1, which is home, okay, introduction. Okay, so this is our introduction. I'm just going to, so this is the actual virtual event. So once you actually log into the course, you will actually see all these things as well. So this is the actual virtual event. So let's just move to the actual course. Let me just move forward. And so because we have selected, that the learners need to go through the lesson in a sequential order, that is why I cannot move forward unless and until I don't complete all of these lessons. So we can actually build it that way that I can't skip any lesson, right? So here we are now, next lesson, and we should now be into the actual course. And this is our course coming up. Next lesson. Just wait for it to open up. There you go. So this is home. So if you see, my topic 1 is home. So I told you I'll start it off with a music video, and here's the music video, which is a song. It's a song sung by a singer called Kit Chan, who's a Singaporean, and it was composed by a very famous Singaporean composer called Dick Lee. And the song is about Singapore. And it's got the lyrics. So I start off the song. I start off my entire course with this particular song. Because it really brings about the emotion of what home is all about. All right. Then my next bit is to connect that, to help connect that for the students with what does home really mean. So what is home? So there's a whole explanation provided here on what actually is the real definition of home. After that, I want them to now connect this to themselves, reflect about their own home. So I have here with me an activity. So now we are using Flipgrid. Okay, so here on Flipgrid, I can actually start, getting the students to really think about what home means to them. So for example, here it says, using Flipgrid, record a video of no less than 3 minutes describing your own home and what do you like about it. Okay, so we can basically log in over here. So I can put in this guest password and can put this in and go, and we should be able to hopefully see the screen. So you get the idea that you can actually record your own video as well. Then moving forward, I now want to help them make the connection to planet Earth, because Earth is home. So here I've said Earth, our planet, is a world unlike any other, the third planet from the sun, and there's a video which basically helps them see the planet as well. Okay, so it's just a video that we've inserted here, and there's some information provided here for students to read up on. After that, and we are still in the first lesson, we are still gaining attention of the learners. And then I talk about the interior structure. So we talk about the interior structure of the Earth. And then we talk about, I think it's atmosphere, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, the orbit. Okay, so here we talk about the orbit of the Earth. And we then talk about the atmosphere. So what does the atmosphere consist of? So again, all of this information is just a simple reading material. As you can see, they don't have to read too much. It's very, very short stuff. Okay, but it is part of the overall plan. And then there is a fact sheet. So here, this is a fact sheet which they can actually download as well if they want to. Okay, so they can actually download this fact sheet as well. And this actually will bring us to the end of the week 1, which is the topic is called home. And this in our lesson plan, which is here, we have just finished the first part. We've gained attention. Okay, we have gained everybody's attention. So you might want to reflect on this. What have I done here to gain the students' attention? Any thoughts? Anybody? What do you think I have done here to gain attention? Anyone? You might want to type this out, okay? But the whole idea behind this is not to start the course with the actual, objective itself. the objective actually comes in the second week. The real objective of the lesson is in the second week. So there, I think I can see Miss Marie Chris saying that the video and the images used, and yeah, absolutely correct. It's basically trying to get their attention, to get them to enjoy some music, make a connection to what is home, reflect about their own home, and then connect the dots to how Earth as a planet is our home. All right. So that entire thing helps us gain attention of the students. And I think Miss Froilan says it's a hook. Absolutely, we are trying to hook the students and get them interested to learn about the rest of the lesson. Okay. Now let's move to the level 2, which is identify objective. Okay, identify objective. So over here now, the topic of the week is the mission, and I'm going to start this lesson by helping the students recall about Earth from the week 1 lesson. And then I'm going to show them that, hey, Earth is, as a planet, it's dying, and that, then I'll give them a mission, and then we will move on from there. So what I'm trying to do here now is I'm giving them an objective to be interested in the lesson, and of course giving them the objective of the entire lesson as well. So what I have done is I've tried to make the entire lesson into a kind of an adventure. Okay, into a kind of an adventure. So let's see how that translates into a actual lesson. So let me go back to FREEJOO, and I will show you in a bit. Okay, so here we are, and there you go. So now we were here in week 1. So now let's go to week 2, the mission. Okay, so I click on next lesson, and I told you earlier that I started off my second week with a small quiz helping them recall what they have learned in week 1. So what we did was we created an entire quiz on H5P. Now, if you see how this works, you don't have to open up, your students don't have to open up H5P at all. It is integrated within FREEJOO. Okay, and the students can actually just complete this very short quiz. Okay, and they can immediately get a grade. So this just helps them recall what they learned in week 1 and put things into perspective before we move forward. So now, after having completed this part, I now move on to the fact that, hey, Earth is dying. So, we are now kind of upping the ante a bit, and we've created a video with, we've taken a snippet from the world-renowned scientist Stephen Hawking. So it's as if Stephen Hawking himself is talking to the students. So check it out.
Professor Stephen Hawking and other scientists believe that to secure the future of the human species, we must colonize another planet.
To stay, risks annihilation. It could be an asteroid hitting the Earth. It could be a new virus, climate change, nuclear war, artificial intelligence gone rogue. We can and must use our curiosity and intelligence to look to the stars. We must do it now before humanity is overtaken by some disaster that we can neither anticipate nor control.
Okay, so there's a video which basically puts things into context for the students, right? We are basically telling them that this is an emergency, that we need to find a different planet for humanity, and it's a seriously a life or a death kind of a situation. So how is that connected to the lesson, and why does it matter to the students? So let's look at the objective now. Okay, what is the objective or the mission? So this is the actual mission which the students will get onto. It's an adventure. Okay, so now we have given them a mission, a real mission. We've told them that you are the chosen astronauts who have to travel across the solar system to go and find a new planet for humans to move to. Okay, so that's the mission that they are now on. So, of course, for every mission, you also need a team, right? So, what I have done is I've assumed that we've got, an X number of students in our class. So, in the next part, I have divided the groups into different missions. So here you can see I've got mission Mercury, mission Venus, mission Mars, mission Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. Okay, so the whole idea over here is for students to actually go in and work within a group. So each group will only be looking at their own planet, and they will be exploring about their own planet. Because the idea is at the later end of the course that they need to pair up with a different group, share their findings, and exchange ideas and come to a consensus. And I'll talk about that in a bit. But now we've given the students a mission, and we've given them their groups as well. And now, to further gamify it and to make it a little bit more realistic, if you remember from our previous theory session that I did, Gagne 9 events of instruction tells us that we should try and make the lessons as realistic as possible. So what we have done here is created another Flipgrid activity, which says, now that you know that you have a mission to help humans find a home, what are your thoughts before you leave home and travel through space? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Do you have questions with regards to your mission? So basically, it's a reflection that if they were really astronauts, how would you feel that you're going on this mission, to a different planet to help humanity? How would you feel at that point? So they have to record their video reflection through Flipgrid. And once again, Flipgrid is integrated directly into Freeju. Nothing to download for your students at all. Okay, so we have now completed one, which was gaining attention, and two, defining the objective. So again, can you please type into the chats and share with me, how would you have done this differently? If you wanted to share the objectives, what are the various other things that you could have perhaps tried to share the objectives as well? So in my case, like I said, I've kind of tried to make it into give them a sense of adventure and make it fun for the students, so they don't think that they're really here in a class, but they're actually astronauts and they're going to be exploring space. So my question to you as teachers is, what are the other different ways that we could have made this interesting? Please type away in the chat so that we can see what are the different alternatives to what we are presenting today. Okay, so whilst people are typing that, let us move on to week 3. So week 3 is recalling prior learning. We want to help them recall prior learning. So in this case, the topic of the week is essentials, and I basically just want to help them recall everything all the way again, okay, about what makes Earth habitable. Now, you will find that one of the unique things about this particular course is we are in week 2, and so far we have not even had one live synchronous session with the students. Level 1 and level 2 are completely self-driven. There is no live session yet. However, in week 3, level 3, that changes. Okay, that will change. So let me demonstrate. So I go back to share screen. And here we are now. So this is week 2. Let's move to week 3. So in week 3, the first thing that they do is they meet the teacher. So if you were my students, you would actually come and meet me over here. So right now you can see that this is a video conferencing tool called Jitsi, and here I am. And as a student, you could type your name, and you can just join meeting right here. So nothing to download. It's all here built in. So now here, what I want to do is, if you can see here, astronauts. I'm not even calling them students anymore. I'm not even saying groups. I'm calling them astronauts. Astronauts, click the link below at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, on 26th of January, which is today, for a meeting with your mission director. Who's the mission director? I am. I'm the teacher. I'm the mission director. So I've given myself a role as well. Remember, you are on a mission to rescue humanity. So please ensure that you log into the call on time and have enabled your video camera and microphone so that you're able to communicate with everybody. We're all astronauts. We need to be able to communicate. Otherwise, we get lost in space. So it's important for us to be able to communicate. And the meeting link is right here. So the whole idea about this meeting is to do a group discussion on what is it that makes Earth habitable. Now, if you remember in week 1, when we were gaining attention, we spoke about planet Earth. And we spoke about what are the different things that make Earth so special to us as humans. So they will have to recall that in the discussion. And in the group discussion, you can, get everybody to contribute to that discussion, because there are many things that make Earth habitable as a planet. So once that discussion is over, you then give them the next task, which is in the next topic, which is coming up right now. We'll just wait for it to load up. Okay. There we go. It's coming up soon. Yeah, we're just waiting for the next topic to load up. So whilst this is loading up, let me show you here. So this is the assignment. So now they have to actually go ahead and do an assignment. Sorry for the slow internet connectivity. I think you probably will empathize with me on this one. Okay. Okay, so while we are waiting for the screen to move to the next part of the lesson, let me go back to our discussion. So I had asked all of you a question. What is it that you would have done differently to deliver the objectives of the lesson? Anybody? Can anybody share with me? Can you please chat with me on this? Anyone? Okay, let me know what are your thoughts about sharing objectives. Okay, let's go back to the assignment. So as you can see here, I have now given them an assignment. So what I've done is I've said, further to your discussion with the mission director, each mission group now needs to research one topic as assigned below. So mission Mercury is going to research on atmosphere. Mission Venus is going to talk about terrain. Mission Mars is going to go and look at water. And then they're going to create a presentation and upload it onto the group drive. So there is a Google Drive, and I will show you that as well. And all teams are required to view all the presentations because they need to have all this information as well. So in the next session, in the next topic, I give them the place where they can upload the assignment. So this is where they upload the assignment. And again, I keep on calling them astronauts. Upload a copy of your presentation right here. Okay. And then after this is done, we move forward and we look at the next part of the lesson, which is what is important. So again, we are now getting them to recall stuff as well. And there's a short quiz. So in order to prepare you for the mission, it is important that all astronauts are aware of what they are going to be searching for. Please answer the questions below, as this will allow mission control to check if you are prepared for the mission or not. So all these questions here have been taken from the presentations that the students would have created. So if one group hasn't seen another group's presentation, they cannot answer this quiz. Okay, so it gives them the motivation or the incentive to actually go and check out every group's presentation, learn from there, and then come and answer this quiz right here. Okay, so that brings us to the end of week 3 In Gagne's 9 events, stage 3 is recalling prior knowledge. So we've basically helped them recall prior knowledge through a discussion, then through a presentation, and then through this quiz. So 3 steps to help them recall whatever they have learned in week 1 and week 2. Okay, so now let's look at week 4. So in week 4, what are we going to show the students? In week 4, it is presenting stimulus. So now we want to give them the stimulus, the stimulus, right? So I want them to be very excited about this mission that they are going on. And so I've got a lesson called preparation. I'm going to get them to start preparing for their space journey. Okay, they're going to go into space, so they need to start preparing. So first of all, they need to understand Newton's 3 laws of motion. How are they going to fly into space, right? And then I also want them to appreciate the fundamentals of rocket design, and I want them to build their own rocket ship. How cool is that? I'm learning about solar system and I'm going to build my own rocket ship, right? So how do we do that? Let's get right to it. So this is share screen. And here we are. So here I start off the lesson with balloons. I talk to the students about a very simple concept using balloons, right? So this is the video right here. Okay, it's just about some kid blowing up a balloon and holding it in his hand. Okay, and it says here, blow up a balloon and hold the neck of the balloon with the opening pinched shut. It will fly if you let it go. Think about this for a moment and answer the following questions via Flipgrid. So these are the 3 questions. What causes the balloon to fly? If you do this again, will the balloon flight be exactly the same? Why do you think, what do you think maybe the variables that make the balloons fly? And again, they can do a video response instead of typing it. Okay, because when they type, they can copy each other's answers. But now with a video response on Flipgrid, each student has to do an individual video response. Okay, now I have not given them the answers. I want them to go and research and find out the answers for themselves. And I'm not going to grade them based on if their answer is wrong or right. I'm going to grade them on the effort. How creative is their answer, right? So I'm going to be grading them on a different rubric. And of course, there is a way for me to give the students a rubric in advance as well. So once the students have done this activity, they've understood about balloons. Now let's put that into the context of actual laws of motion, right? So here is Sir Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motion. So we basically have an entire text explaining what these 3 laws of motion are. And then there is a video which further illustrates that as well. Now, I'm sure all of you have an experience on this. If you put up a video or if you put up a PowerPoint slide, there is no guarantee that your students are going to watch the video or go through your PowerPoint slide. So in order to make sure that they do it, I have a quiz right here, right underneath the video. So if they haven't watched this video, they will not be able to answer this quiz because this quiz is directly related to the video. So they have to watch the video. And after that, then they can answer this quiz. Now, this quiz is also graded. Okay. So again, if you see, they are learning through engagement, but not through boring, like me talking all the time. In fact, I'm hardly there in the lesson. They are learning on their own. The next thing I want them to do is I want to help them make and launch their own rocket. So here I've said mission control instructs all astronauts to watch the video below and then design their own rocket ship. So there's a whole video which talks about how you can build your own rocket ship. And they use basically simple things that they can find at home, a simple plastic pipe, some card, paper, scissors, crayons, things like that, glue, tape, all of the things which they can definitely find at home, and they can make their own rocket. Okay, so once they make their own rocket, I then tell them, showcase your rocket design to everybody else. So here, again on video, using Flipgrid, record a video of no less than 3 minutes showcasing your rocket design and explaining how it works. So they have to demonstrate how their rocket will work, right? So if they've understood the principles of how the rocket will work, they should be able to explain how their rocket will work as well. So again, I have now given them the stimuli needed for them to really think about lifting off and going into space. So now that they have their rocket ready, we need to lift off into space. That's the next thing. So I have even created a video to illustrate that. So this topic is, in fact, is called We Have Liftoff. So this is what the video looks like.
Launch sequence activated.
So now the students are all going into space onto their own various missions. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea of how I have tried to build stimuli, as part of Gagne's 9 steps of instruction, so that we can get the students engaged in this whole lesson. Okay, so as you can see, I have moved from gaining attention, identifying objective, recall prior learning, and presenting stimulus. We've already completed all of this in 4 weeks. Now, from week 5 to week 8, we are basically just going to help them learn about the various things. So I've only prepared one thing over here. So this is a lesson on distance and velocity. I want them to compare between speed and velocity. I want them to contrast between rotation and revolution. And I want them to define distances in space, right? So each team is obviously looking at their own planet. So mission Mercury is only going to be looking at Mercury. Mission Venus is only going to be looking at Venus, and so on and so forth. So, but all these lessons, distance and velocity, gravity, terrain and elements, satellites, which is moons, all of these primarily are just for them to go and research and learn more about the different planets, okay, that they're supposed to go and research on. So how does that translate? So let me show you about distance and velocity. That should give you an idea on how we can actually build a lesson like that. So I'm going to share my screen again. And here we are. So now here, distance and velocity. I want to start my lessons with what is physical distance. So now remember, this is guided learning. I want to give them enough guidance so that they can go and learn. So straight away, simple text. Distance refers to how much ground an object is covered, and it provides a simple explanation. And then after that, I talk about the difference between speed and velocity. Okay, what is speed? What is velocity? So there is a simple explanation provided there as well. And then I talk about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the flight plan. So over here, Mission Control instructs all astronauts to read the information provided in the links below. This will be helpful to you in providing you with vital information about your mission. Keep in mind, the students are already in space. So now ground control, Mission Control has sent them a message. I have told them, hey, go check this information out. It will help you with your mission. And then I've said all planetary missions must complete the following tasks. Research on the distance you will need to travel from Earth to the planet, and research on the number of days you will need to travel before you can arrive at your destination if you are traveling at optimum speed. Now, they can't answer these questions if they haven't gone over here to go and research about the topics. Okay. Next, I have very short videos talking about rotations and revolutions of different planets. So again, it basically looks at each planet and talks about how the planet is rotating on its axis and how it is revolving around the sun. And then after that, there is also another video which I've provided them, which is about planetary speed, as to how fast the planets are actually revolving around these planets. So these are videos that you find on YouTube, and I've just basically connected those. This is all free videos which are available on YouTube. And we're just pulling this from YouTube and showing them as part of the course. Then once they have completed this, I want them to now. So we also talk about how do planets rotate. So there's a whole video on how do planets rotate, and then there's a mission log. So if you ever watch sci-fi movies, you will always know that the space the captain of the ship always has a mission log, star date, whatever, and they will record as to what they did on that particular day of the mission. So now each team has to create a mission log. So what I've said here is, astronauts, now that you have reached your destination, report back to the mission control on how large is the planet, what is the speed and angle of its axis, what is the speed of its revolution around the sun, how many days does the planet take to orbit around the sun, and they have to do a whole flip grid here as well. And Kirsten, if you're listening to this, we need a flip grid activity here, okay? So it's not inputted here, but you get the idea. You can actually put in a flip grid activity here and get them to record a mission log. And I've also said this is mission log 1, meaning there will be a mission log 2, mission log 3, mission log 4, as in how they research different aspects of the planet throughout their entire space trip. Okay, so this is basically how I have created this lesson so far. So let us go back to here. So I have not added in anything else here because frankly, I don't have the time to create the entire lesson. I just wanted to show you the approach that I have taken on how to build this. So gravity, I would also have, information about gravity. What is gravity? One of the exercises that I could have done was I could have told the students, get up from your seat and try and jump and see whether you can stay up. You can't. Why is that? What makes you fall back down, and why can't you float? Like Superman, for example. So they could then look at, okay, maybe there's something called gravity. So what is gravity? How does that affect? And what is the gravity situation in different planets? Then we talk about terrain and elements. So again, we talk about, whether the planet is rocky or is it, made of gas. What are the gases available? Is it, carbon dioxide? Do we have oxygen? Is the planet habitable at all? In satellites, they have to go and research about the various moons. So each planet mission will look at the moons, whether they have 1 moon, 10 moons, 9 moons, whatever it is, right? So they will go and figure out whether any moon has water or not. And once they have gone through this, level 6 is eliciting performance. So for eliciting performance, what I would have done is, so I've called the lesson the return. So now they're coming back to Earth with all this information. So I will get them to prepare an entire presentation over here explaining why the planet which they went to explore is or is not habitable for humankind, because that's the entire mission, right? And then in week 10, which is level 7, which we provide feedback, I will get into, as a teacher, I would have gone into a discussion with each group one at a time. So now this again becomes a synchronous discussion, online discussion with each group to figure out with them as to why they feel their planet is not habitable. Whatever planet they went and researched, why is that not habitable? And what have they learned in the entire process? So what is their final conclusion, right? So, and then we provide feedback on their team, on their how they work together as a team, on the material which they have uploaded, on the logs which they have uploaded. You can actually provide that feedback to each team, each mission in that synchronous session. In week 11, we want to assess performance now. So this is the consensus. So here now, based on the feedback that I've given each team, I would then get the team to change the presentation and then share their planet's presentation with a different planet. So for example, mission Mercury will present to mission Venus, whereas mission Venus will present to mission Mercury. So they will swap information. And then they will decide on a consensus, are both planets habitable or not? Or is Earth the only planet available for us, and we should really, basically take care of planet Earth. So this happens with all the teams, and eventually there will be a group meeting where all teams come in together and we all reach a consensus where we talk about, yes, Earth is the only planet that is habitable for mankind. So we should take more care of the planet. And then I want them to enhance the retention, and I want to transfer that knowledge. I want them to learn how to transfer that knowledge to others. So here, I can make it a very creative activity, and I can say, okay, now that you are aware that there is no other planet in the solar system that is worth for us to move to, and we really need to take care of Earth and we need to save it from dying, how will you as astronauts convey this message to the rest of the human population? Posters, videos, social media campaigns. So this is basically an entire Save the Earth campaign. So they basically start creating that and share that news with the rest of the planet, that Earth is the only place to live in. So as you can see, I have basically used 9 steps: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 steps of Gagne's events of instruction to create an online course without too much of interaction with the students. It's a pretty much self-driven course, and I'm hoping that the students are excited about the course and they would want to learn more, because it is more like an adventure rather than a boring course. So that basically brings me to the end of my presentation, and at this point I would like to invite one person here on the in the group with us. And this is actually a teacher, a science teacher. We actually have a science teacher from the Philippines. She teaches middle school and high school students science. And I would love to ask her about her feedback on this type of course design, because she teaches the same subject as well. So let me introduce all of you to Zarina. Hi, Zarina.
Hi everybody. Hello, Sir Neil.
How are you doing, Zarina?
I'm good, doing good. I actually enjoyed the presentation.
Oh, thank you very much. So, Zarina, I just wanted to get your feedback on this. As a teacher, can you tell us more about, where do you teach, what do you teach, and how long have you been teaching for?
Oh yeah, I'm from the Philippines. I'm actually teaching senior high school. Right now, I've been teaching for almost 7 years now. There. Actually, I'm teaching science now. I'm teaching earth science right now. And actually, with the presentation you made earlier, I really enjoyed it. The title of the lesson is very catchy to the students, that will really make them wonder what the lesson is all about, and it is very engaging. So first, of course, as a science teacher, I like the fact that it is not purely discussion. So it is an activity based, actually gamified and learner centered, which will make students, really involved with the lesson and not just merely reading the lesson. So teachers today, given the fact that our students, our learners are so into gadgets, TikTok, Instagrams, games, we also have to be really flexible and creative to catch their attention and hook them to our lesson. And this is actually a very practical application on how teachers can twist their lessons to make it more engaging and interactive, because learning is really effective when students are really involved in having fun.
So, can you share with the audience? You said you've been teaching about earth sciences, so
Yes,
similar topics.
yes.
What has your approach been to designing a lesson previously?
We are actually using 7 E's. So we
Mhm.
have this 7 E's of instruction. So we have elaborate, elicit, um, what else? We have elaborate, elicit, engage, explore, extend, evaluate, somehow almost similar with what you have discussed with the nine events of instruction. So um, that's how we teach lessons during face-to-face classes. But now I actually surprised that this kind of instruction can be applied to online classes, because I haven't tried this approach yet in online classes.
So considering the the way you conduct the classes, and you of course know the local challenges, how do you think uh, this will go down with students in the Philippines, for example? Because I know Philippine students have a lot of challenges, like in Indonesia, like in Vietnam. So how do you think this will translate to the students?
Okay, actually, this time of pandemic, like for example, last year, it was really challenging, because how you prepare a lesson is very different from face to face and then to online. So what I learned, since my students on the first year of pandemic, they tend to get bored. They tend to easily lose attention during Google Meet discussion. So what I did, during the next year, this year, so I explored, and studied different platforms that will make my classes engaging, interactive, and also applied different strategies as well on how I can convey concepts substantially in which they can relate. So my students really had fun. They were excited to attend online classes, because there's somehow this element of surprise, and they are excited to learn. Well, actually, in fact, some of my students would say like, thank you, ma'am, for letting us enjoy different platforms. Your subject is really interesting. So that is really rewarding when you can convey ideas to your students.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Zarina, for your feedback. Because I just wanted to kind of hear from a real teacher, and also
Yep.
get the audience to kind of get feedback from a real science teacher on how this course would actually translate in a real situation. So thank you for that, Zarina. Thank you very much, and please stay safe.
Yes. Stay safe also. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So now, next, we are going to move to Q&A, questions and answers. So I think if you have any questions, you can type them up in the link on the Mentimeter. I think you already have that link. And let me at this point invite two people into the chat. First, I would like to invite our head of academics from the Philippines. And his name is Jake Aragon. I think you might have seen him in one of our previous sessions. So let me welcome Jake. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Neil. Thank you
How are
for
you?
sharing with us your thoughts on how Gagne's 9 levels of instructions can be very practically used in the classroom. In that case, the science class on that was demonstrated. It was quite remarkable how it all came together nicely at the end.
Thanks. So yeah, thanks for joining us also today. And we have one more person joining us in this discussion, Jake. So let me also invite the one, the only, Dr. Kirsten Bartels, who is our Chief Academics Officer, joining us live from Michigan. And it is, I think, 2 in the morning there.
It's
Uh,
3. It
3,
is
okay.
3
So
a.m.
it's 3 in the morning. Hi, Kirsten.
Woohoo.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you
Good.
today?
I am doing wonderful. Good to see both of you. And let's open up the floor now to Q&A. So we will get Jake to read out the questions to us, and Kirsten and I will try and answer those questions to the best of our ability. So Jake, take it away.
Sure. Let's go ahead with the first question. One of our members of the audience is asking, during classroom observation by heads or supervisors, there might be the tendency where they look for the different levels of Gagne to be presented or to be evident or manifested in a 1 hour session or class. Is that actually possible? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it is absolutely possible. So if you see the lesson that I've just demonstrated, it's a 12-week lesson, but each week is only 1 hour. That's it. It's just 1 hour, right? So basically, you're looking at 12 hours. If it's a 12-week course, you're looking at 12 hours and all. But each week, we are only looking at one stage of Gagne's 9 events. Now, if you want to design a lesson to have all 9 events in 1 hour, it is possible to do that, but best of luck in creating the resources, because you will need a lot of time in creating resources. So it is possible to do it that way, but I prefer to do it one step at a time. Kirsten, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree. I think, trying to get everything done in an hour can be overwhelming. It can be done, but remember, you also want to give your students time to absorb, time to understand, time to process. So I think a better approach to that may be to talk to the people who are going and observing and say, hey, I'm using Gagne's 9 events. You're planning on observing me next week. I set the stage. So this is what you're going to see. And let them know, because then you're actually, following Gagne's second event. You're,
Yeah.
making
And
your
also,
objectives clear. Sorry.
no, and in fact, it's a great thing that what you said, Kirsten, and I would like to kind of add up on that. If you have created a lesson plan like this, you can actually give this to your observer. So they can actually see, even before they come to your class, they can see how you have actually used Gagne's 9 events in your own course. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Neil and Kirsten. A follow-up to that would be, is there any particular level among the 9 levels of instruction where teachers have to spend more time in, or more effort in designing or putting together?
Kirsten?
It's funny. It depends a lot on your approach, your comfort level. One of my friends, he spends so much energy planning the most amazing ways to get students' attention. It's for some reason for him, and he's brilliant at it. Don't get me wrong. I wish I had. I mean, he loves icebreakers. I hate icebreakers. They're icebergs to me. But he's really brilliant at those, and that's where he spends the vast majority of his time. Everything else for him is easy, it's natural, but for some reason, he has to make sure he gets the right attention.
Yep.
So, which seems like the wrong one. It's, very important to get attention. It is, and I'm not saying it's not. But it's funny that that's where the most of his energy goes. Other people, they spend a lot of time just making sure those objectives are clear. So I think they all have equal weight, and you just need to see what's the easiest for you. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
Yeah. So I agree. My approach, I think as a teacher, I need to be involved at all stages. Okay, as a teacher. But of course, even though the way I designed this particular lesson, as I demonstrated, I only have 2 or 3, actual synchronous sessions. The rest is all asynchronous. But even though it is asynchronous, on the learning management system, I'm actually tracking what the students are doing. So if I find that the students are not really moving forward, I can send them a personal message. Hey, do you need help? Do you need to talk to me? And I can get onto a call with you to help you see what we need to do if you need any clarifications or anything like that. So it's not just because the lesson is asynchronous or blended, it doesn't mean that I'm sitting at home and sleeping. No, I'm not. Okay.
Sleep. What's that?
Exactly. And Kirsten knows this, right? Because I'm usually up at 3 in the mornings, and Kirsten, it's for her, it's I think about 2 in the afternoon at that point. And I'm texting Kirsten. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, as teachers, you need to be involved throughout the lesson. In the overall design, I spend a lot of time creating the resources and the content. So there's a lot of time in the preparation. But once you're prepared, the copying and pasting with technology, dealing with technology is very, very minimal. And I think this is something that I also want to highlight here. What I have seen in my experience is a lot of teachers spend a lot of time getting overwhelmed with learning management systems. Oh my God, how do I do this? What do I do here? Where do I go to do this? Don't spend time doing that. That is the easy bit. Spend time in creating and planning a lesson which is fun, like what we've done today. right? So if I can just have the liberty to share once again, I can just remind the teachers. So this here is where I actually created my entire content. So all the videos, all the links, the photographs, the text, the assessment, everything is done in advance, in a sequence. Okay, it is all done in advance and in a sequence. And then once I have it in a sequence, it's just copying and pasting into the system, so that I'm dealing with technology only for about 20 minutes. That's it. The rest of the time, I'm just spending time to be creative and build a lesson plan.
Okay, thanks, Neil and Kirsten. Our next question is Gagne's events of instruction applicable to all subjects, even when we talk about vocational and technical subjects? I guess because of the nature of technical and vocational subjects, where you have a lot of, hands-on demonstrations and requirements, how can Gagne fit into the delivery of teaching when it comes to vocational technical subjects?
I think it really depends on what the lesson objectives are. But let me illustrate a few things. So say, for example, if you're teaching math, okay, math lessons can be, you can use Gagne's 9 events in math. I could basically say, okay, there's a mathematical problem that needs to be solved, which is, I can use the same premise, right? I can say, okay, there's the astronauts who are in space, have a problem. They need to solve this mathematical equation to get to an answer. So how do you solve this? So, you can provide stimuli and you can provide those problems and provide guided learning to kind of do that whole thing in math. Similarly, in English, if you're, say, for example, talking about grammar, similarly, you could actually use, Gagne's 9 events to say, okay, now that you've learned about certain, grammatical do's and don'ts, let's create a play, and let's do a drama, write a play where the grammar is absolutely correct. So again, there are different ways to actually approach this in a vocational subject. So say, for example, if you're teaching engineering, again, you connect it to the real world situation. So if you're teaching, say, if you're a TVET school, and if you're talking about learning how to repair air conditioning systems, okay, maybe that's the topic that you're learning about. You can use Gagne's 9 events of instruction. You can say, okay, this is a real AC. It's not working. The client is upset. How do we repair this? This is the problem. So they have to go do research. Then they have to come back and then they have to try and figure it out. Or you can say, okay, assemble your own AC. So these are all the different parts, and you can assemble your own AC. And now you're selling the AC to a client, and now suddenly the AC is not working. So I now need to repair it. Okay, so that's an example. And again, I'm making these up just randomly, right? But I also need to remind the teachers that Gagne's 9 events is not the only teaching framework. There are so many others. Okay, there are so many others. So again, depending on what you're trying to achieve in your lesson, you might not realize that Gagne's is not the best framework to use. There might be something else to use. Maybe a SAMR model, or maybe challenge-based learning. So in fact, a lesson like this, for example, the science lesson that I did, you could easily use Gagne's 9 events like I have demonstrated, but at the same time, we could do a whole challenge-based learning in parallel as well, where I could work with the math teacher, I can work with the English teacher, I can work with the sports teacher to build lessons around space travel. So, for example, the mathematics teacher could start teaching calculations to the students. Hey, you're going to go on a space mission. You need to know how to calculate things. So they learn about that in the mathematics class. As far as English is concerned, communication skills. Hey, you're going to be in space. You need to learn how to communicate. So how are you going to communicate? That can be taught in the English class at the same time. Physical, exercises. Your sports instructor could actually say, hey, you need to be strong because you're going to be going to space. So they could be running that same exercise, but from their subject perspective. Now, that is challenge-based learning across different subjects, but the same concept. So
And
there are different ways to actually do this and make it fun for the students and engaging for the students. Yes, Kirsten.
well, I was going to say, I look at at Gagne or any of these frameworks as my map, as my instructions to go on my journey. And whether I'm going to go spend a weekend at my in-laws or, go fly to Singapore and visit Neil, there's some basic things that I have to do. So regardless of where I'm going, there are steps that I have to take to get there. Same thing with Gagne. This is an educational journey and there are steps I need to take, whether I'm teaching environmental studies, communication, literature. I've taught, I think, 50 different courses in 7 different disciplines. So these always, it does work. It's just, shifting your mind on how you prepare. And whenever we're trying to change the way we organize something, because I'm going through a whole organizational thing, Neil's going to be very excited. I got a new daily planner, Neil. I'm very thrilled about this. That just replaced my weekly planner, just so you know. But it takes time to understand and get used to doing it. But once you get used to it, it becomes more natural and it flows better. It actually makes your life easier in the long run.
Right. Thanks, Kurs and Neil. Do you recommend contextualizing or localizing the examples or the situations that are presented to the students when you have a certain topic and you want to situate it where they are? Is that a more effective approach to doing it?
Absolutely.
Oh, I think definitely.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I aged myself once. I used to be an environmental geologist back in the day. And I would make a joke that I didn't like the original Star Trek because I'm not expendable. And my students would look at me like, what? Like, who's the first person to get killed? It's the geologist in the red shirt on the away mission. I'm not expendable. Okay, now Star Trek has been rebooted and people understand my joke, but it fell flat and they didn't connect. So you need to make sure that you connect with them and make it relevant, because if it's not relevant, it doesn't matter. And if it doesn't matter, why should they bother? This generation, more than any other, wants to know the why. Why do I need to learn this? How is it going to impact my world?
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
Neil,
more
anything to add?
questions? Yeah. No, I'm actually completely
good.
in agreement with Kirsten on this. Yeah.
He doesn't like the original Star Trek either. Next gen all the way.
Okay, finally, one more question. Neil and Kirsten, preparing a lesson design or plan using Gagne's 9 levels will take a lot of time. So what are your tips for teachers to make that process more sustainable, more repeatable for them? Something that they can take home with them after the session, and to sort of have that mindset permanently built in every time they come in designing and working out their lesson plans and designs.
So here's the thing, right? I used to teach entrepreneurship, with Singapore Poly. And I used to tell my students, because, entrepreneurship is a very difficult thing. A lot of failure involved. 99% of the businesses actually fail, right? Startups actually fail. So a lot of students would tell me, oh, but it's so difficult. Starting up is so difficult. So same thing I would tell my students is, tell me one thing in life that is not difficult. Sometimes even to get out of bed in the morning is difficult. I know this is true for Kirsten. She's like sometimes very difficult for her to get out of bed and attend these events at 2 and 3 in the morning, right? But you have to do it. You got to do it. So same thing with the teachers. Yes, creating a lesson plan like what I showed you is intense. It is time consuming. It is difficult, but you got to do it, because you have to do it not just for you, but for your students. I think as teachers, we take up the role because we want to make sure that the future generation is better for it. And if you want to do your part as a teacher, then you have to basically take that step and go through that a little bit of hardship to make sure that your students enjoy the course. Because if they don't enjoy your course or enjoy your lesson, you've lost them. They're not learning anything. Okay, and they are going to not be engaged at all with you. Okay, but if you spend that time to actually think about a course and create something that is very interactive, very fun, engaging, um, you will find that the students will be hungry for more. They will come back to your classes again and again because they will know, hey, you know what? Kirsten's classes, teacher Kirsten's classes are very fun.
They always
You
are.
automatically become their favorite teacher.
I always am.
So the thing is, yes, it is time consuming. So you need, as a teacher, you need to make sure that you have time management skills. Okay, because I know all teachers are busy. So what I would normally do when I'm creating my lessons, I would actually plan and create all my resources in my summer break or in my winter break, because I know what I'm going to teach in the next semester. So I need to start preparing. So instead of just using the same old PowerPoint or whatever, I will gamify the entire lesson like I just demonstrated to you. Okay. Now, once you have prepared the lesson and uploaded it onto the system, then you just sit back.
Yeah.
That's it. Then you just sit back, because then the most of the hard work is already done. So now when the weekly sessions start, all you are doing is just facilitating. You're not teaching. You're just guiding the students. You're just pointing them in the right direction and getting them to discover things for themselves. Okay. And just coming towards the end and, telling them, okay, this is how I would do it and blah, blah, blah. So during the entire semester, your time involvement is there, but not as intense as you would normally do it in a class. So, I mean, just imagine, Zarina was with us, earlier. Now, if as a science teacher, if she is doing this group discussions, like she said, she was doing group discussions. If you have to do group discussions every single week, you have to prepare for that discussion. You have to facilitate that discussion. And then you have to provide feedback for the discussion every single week. And if you have 4 or 5 subjects that you're teaching, that's 5 hours gone. That's a lot of time. Whereas once you spend time creating content, once it's up on the system, then it's pretty much self-driven. So you will go through that painful experience initially. But once you've crossed that bridge, you can sit back, and then it's just about tweaking the course. Once the first run of the course is done, you will see, okay, this part of the course maybe did not translate well with the students. Maybe I need to provide some more, clearer instruction. So you just go and change that. That's it. But the rest of the stuff remains the same. So yeah, that's my answer. Kirsten?
Well, I would go, and I'm going to bring up my lovely planners again, because, this one, it's a week at a time. This is too big for me. It's too much. I need to break it down into even smaller bits. So when you're going and you're doing your planning, make sure you break things down into manageable chunks. And if it still seems like it's too big, break it down farther. And just work through the process. And the other thing to do is, as you're going through the process, take notes. What really worked for me? Ooh, I liked that I did this. And I know it seems silly because, you're spending the time creating this thing, and now I'm saying, hey, take notes. But the next time you do it, if you don't take those notes, you'll probably forget. Which, I don't know how many times I've used other LMSs and I'm like, I don't need to write down how to do this. I figured it out this time. And then the next semester, I'm like, I knew how to do this at one point. I don't now, which is why I love FREEJOO, by the way. That's a whole different thing. But take those notes and learn from it.
Yeah.
And give yourself a break. Breathe. It will get easier. That doesn't mean it's easy right now. And use networking, because we have, the ability for you to network with other teachers on the platform. Ask them what they've done. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You're not alone. I'm up at 3 a.m. because I want to be a part of supporting the incredibly important work that you do. My kids wouldn't be as successful if it weren't for people like you dedicating your time and energy. You are the real heroes. We love you and adore you and appreciate what you do. You're not alone.
Awesome. Thanks, Kirsten. Jake, I think that should be enough time for questions.
Right. Yeah. We'd just like to thank members of the audience, our dear teachers, for
Oh,
asking very good questions this afternoon. Yeah.
there is a question that showed up twice.
Okay.
And I think it depends where you are about copyright infringement for pictures and images that you upload online.
Yeah. So, in fact, let me address that. So, copyright, you have to be very clear that you make sure that and provide and give credit to the creators. So, like for example, in this case, we started off the lesson with a song by Kit Chan. I never claimed that this song is mine. Never claimed that. We never claimed that this song was composed by us. No, we were very clear in saying this is a song sung by Kit Chan, composed by Dick Lee. It was from the Singapore National Day Parade. Very clear in terms of where this is coming from, and it is also available in Creative Commons for YouTube, because it's some person has actually. This is not even the original video. This is actually some lyric video which somebody else has created, right? So we've been very, very clear, and this has been embedded from YouTube. So we are not basically we're just linking in the course. We're just linking it directly to the source. We are not uploading this directly onto into the course. So when you click on the course, you can actually see YouTube, and you actually go to YouTube and watch the video, right? So we are bringing you to the source. So as long as you're very clear about who is the creator of the content, you're good. And anyway, it's education. So, we are not, it's not for commercial purposes in that sense. Mm-hmm. And having said that, all the other videos that you saw, have been created by me. So that is all original content from Akadasia. Now, you might be wondering, wow, as a teacher, how do I create those kind of videos? Must be very, very time consuming. You'll be surprised. Actually, most of the videos that I created in less than 5 minutes. And let me kind of just showcase here once again. So I will like to kind of share with you that if you see our entire track of all the workshop Wednesdays that we are actually going to be launching very soon. If you have seen how we have used Flipgrid inside Freeju, and if you want to learn how to use Flipgrid, join us on the 16th of February. There's an entire workshop just on Flipgrid, on how to create Flipgrid. Okay. I also showed you how we have embedded activities from H5P. If you want to learn how to embed activities from H5P, there are 2 events, in fact, on the 2nd of March and on the 16th of March, specifically talking about how to use H5P.
And they're not the same event twice. One is looking at how to do activities. The other is looking at how to do assessments.
Yeah. So they're 2 different things. Okay. Then videos. I showed you how, I showed you some, videos, and I just told you that it took me about 5 minutes to create those videos. So if you want to learn how to make these videos as well, these kind of videos as well, join us on the 30th of March and on the 13th of April, okay, where we will be talking about creating videos using Canva and Lumen 5, 2 tools that we actually use. And then on the 27th of April, we will actually be talking about how to use videos to assess your learner's understanding. So there's a whole different workshop on that. And then we, of course, have building engagement with Mentimeter and with Padlet in May. So as you can see, there are a lot of these workshops which are coming up, and these are all available for gold, silver, and platinum members only. So basically, if you are really, really interested in upping your game as a teacher, you can see that we have a whole series of workshops coming up which will help you learn new ways of delivering your content and making it fun for your students. All you need to do is sign up on freeju.com and upgrade your free account to make it a gold, silver, or platinum. You need to be a gold, silver, or platinum member to actually get access to the course. So even this particular lesson, you can actually find this lesson right inside Freeju. And you can actually go through this entire lesson and experience home sweet home as a lesson, as a learner, as a student. So you can actually experience it yourself, and you can see how students will actually access the course. So if you want to actually do that, let me show you how to actually do that as well. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, and here we are. We just go to Skilled. Okay, so as you can see, this is Skilled here inside Freeju.
Can't see it, Neil.
And, oh, you can't see it?
No, I can just see Workshop Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. Let me stop share. Okay, I know what the problem is. Share.
We have too many tabs open all the time.
Yeah. Okay, you should be able to see it now.
Yes.
There we go.
So if you see here, if you go to Skilled, this is the entire course, Practical Approach to Using Gagne's 9 Events of Instruction. So whatever I have spoken about today, you can actually learn about this and go through the entire experience as a student yourself. Okay, right here. And if you are a free member, and if you want to upgrade your membership to a premium account, very simple, go here on the left and you will see membership. Just click on the membership and you can see what are the different membership options available. Okay, there are silver, gold, and platinum. Silver is $20 a year, gold is $35 a year, and platinum is only $50 a year. That's it. It's an entire, you're paying for the whole year. So if you sign up for a $20 membership, you end up paying what, $1 something per month. Okay, which is less than a cup of coffee, actually, if you really think about it. Okay?
Neil, your math is awesome.
Yeah. So something for you to think about. And when you sign up for an annual membership, you get access to all the courses on Freeju. Plus, you get access to all these courses as well, all the workshop, everything for $20 a year. And keep in mind, these courses are coming in with CPD units as well. Okay, so you think about it. And if you really want to up your game, this is the time to do it. Okay, and also wanted to remind you, next Wednesday is Chinese New Year, so we won't be hosting any session. But the next session after that is on the 9th of February, where we will be doing a fireside chat with 2 or 3 different guests talking about the importance of building assertiveness and self-confidence in students. Okay, so again, all of these events are absolutely free, but if you want a certificate, a CPD certificate, you need to complete the course, and for that, you need to upgrade your membership. So yeah, that's it from my side. Jake or Kirsten, anything to add?
Yeah, it can't get any better than that, right? Nia, signing up Freeju premium membership plus access or attendance to all the workshops. It's something that's really special just for our members of Freeju. So we'd like to invite all the teachers here to sign up and explore all the benefits that are available for you.
Yeah. In fact, I would just like to add one more thing. After you, so say for example, if you upgraded your membership to one of these premium accounts, okay. So whether it's a gold, silver, or a platinum account, and once you have completed understanding Gagne's 9 events of instruction, you can then move on to today's course, which is the practical approach to understanding how to use Gagne's 9 events of instruction. And once you complete that, you can then sign up for something called Creating Your First Online Course, which then will allow you to create your own course using the principles of Gagne's 9 events of instruction on Freeju. So you can experiment with your own course design. Okay, and all of that is included in the same price. There's nothing extra. All right, so having said that, I think we are just about done for today. It's we've had a good 1.5 hours of a workshop session. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Kirsten, and thank you to my entire team, which is supporting us in the background. And of course, most importantly, thank you to each and every one of you, all the teachers who are here attending this session from all over the world. I hope that this has been an insightful session for you all, and I hope that you can learn from this and apply this learning into your own courses as well. So having said that, thank you very much. Stay safe. Goodbye. And we will see you again on the 9th of February. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
I am Jenny and welcome to Freeju, the global community of educators. Let me show you why as an educator you should make Freeju an important part of your teaching and learning practice. A community of teaching practice is important for any educator. On Freeju you will be able to access CollabEd, which is like LinkedIn but for educators. Here you will be able to connect and network with other educators from all around the world. You can build your own community of teaching practice or join one of the many other existing groups and learn and share ideas, lesson plans, etc. with each other. Then, for a more formalized approach to professional development, you can go to SkillEd, which is like Netflix for educators. Here, you will be able to access a wide range of courses designed by global experts that will help you to learn about new pedagogical, technical, and soft skills, all related to 21st century education and the future of work. There are more than 20 courses available for free, and for more advanced level courses, you can upgrade to the Silver membership plan for just $20 per year and get access to all courses designed by Akadasia. The courses are available in English and in several other Asian languages. And what's more, you will receive a free verifiable and tamper-proof digital certificate for each course that you complete. If you have upgraded your membership to the Silver, Gold, or Platinum plans, you also get access to DesignEd, which is like Canva for educators. Here you will find the easiest and fastest way to practice your own instructional design skills and build your own courses. We have pre-integrated several third-party edtech apps like Flipgrid, Canva, Mentimeter, Padlet, H5P, Zoom, etc. right into Freeju so you can make your courses engaging and fun for your own learners. As you can see, there is a lot you can do on Freeju as an educator. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.freeju.com and get your very own free lifetime membership today. See you soon on Freeju.